Welcome back to Ridiculous Gaming. This is Veetstra, and today I will be reviewing Tiny Barbarian DX for the Nintendo Switch. But before we get into the review, if you enjoy the video, please subscribe to the channel, and make sure to check out our website at ridiculousgaming.com for more Nintendo Switch news and reviews. And make sure to follow us on Twitter at RedonKgaming. All links can be found in the description below, and now, on to the review. Tiny Barbarian DX released today for the Nintendo Switch. The game is a self-described thrill-a-minute, sort 'em up, or swap. You play as a tiny barbarian. Your main goal is to run, jump, climb, slash, and flex your way through levels and defeat the mini-bosses and bosses that are at the end of the levels. The game comes with 4 episodes and each provide an unrelenting and unique adventure with coins and secrets to collect. The game closely reminds me of Contra with a sword. It brings back great nostalgia of the 8-bit and 16-bit platformers and beat-em-up games. All the vertical height changes and dodging spikes just make the game a fun challenge. Tiny Barbarian is definitely unforgiving for the faint of heart, but that is also a good thing. The game provides you with a life bar that makes the game not quite as punishing as classic platform games, but don't let that fool you. That health bar can quickly disappear in the blink of an eye. There are constant traps and enemies that will keep you on your toes throughout each level. The levels are well designed and are created to really challenge you to explore every corner for secrets, and the multi-tiered platforms allow you to pick which route to take. However, there is no easy route in this game as they are all fraught with enemies to block your path. The backgrounds for the levels seem very simple, but they fit the feel of the level so perfectly that they blend right in and make it so you notice the time put into the artwork. The enemies follow your typical type of enemies found in any platform games. You have your mindless zombie type that just walks back and forth but has no real attack. Think Goomba Koopa Troopa. Tracking enemies that swings a weapon for a little range to their attack and just homes in on you no matter where you are. Shooting enemies that shoot range attacks at a constant timing. Swooping enemies that come in from both sides of the screen and then randomly swoop down and try to kill you. There is a unique enemy, the treasure goblin. Can't not want to hit it when you see it, but it runs around and runs away, and every time you hit the goblin, it provides treasures or food to help you get through the level. It's such a glorious thing to see on the screen. The game is humorous and really fun to play. One of my favorite moments that still makes me giggle every so often, mainly because I like to take a break and do it, is when you can hurt enemies while standing still and flexing. If you time it right and flex as the enemy comes close to you, you can hurt them and knock them back using the down plus action. There are other great moments that just make you chuckle, but I won't ruin them by telling you about them. I would advise that you take a few minutes to visit the Tiny Barbarian website at www.tinybarbarian.com and read the manual. There are some great mini comics in there that will give you the sense of the shenanigans of the game. The controls are very straightforward. You move around with your analog stick and there's a jump and action button. The game is pretty tough, and there were a few jumps or vine hang sequences that were just tough and definitely made me curse a bit. But the controls were done well and allows the player to traverse the landscape as long as they time their jumps and attacks right. I will admit there were a few times I felt I jumped super early and still got hit by a spear or an eagle that wasn't a bit away. But once you figure out the timing, you will easily dodge anything the game can throw at you. This game is a fun throwback to nostalgic 8-bit and 16-bit era action platformers. They are not for the faint of heart again, as the game is pretty challenging and does require a lot of patience to get through. The good thing is that there are no life limits or continues to worry about. If you die, you just start at the last checkpoint and try again. The game really provides what the developer said they were making. A classic that you can often play through in under an hour. Simple, challenging, and satisfying. Those games were short by necessity, but brevity is the soul of wit, and it's not a bad way to do things. The developer is right in that respect. Consider how players are now beating Super Mario Bros. In under 5 minutes, or how people can beat the original Contra in under 10 minutes. While the average person was able to beat these games in about 30 to 60 minutes, that brevity really made you come back to play it over and over again. That combination with the portability of the Nintendo Switch really make for a great throwback, and this is definitely something I see players pushing for speedruns in the near future. I give this game an 8.5 out of 10 and definitely recommend it if you just love to play those quick, fast-paced games.